third session of Gita course. Right? Thank you so much for actually coming and joining this session. Well, you have so many things to do. I always keep telling you have so many things to do, and you made the right choice. Like you have so many options, right? Sunday, there is so many options. Saturday and Sunday, but you can visit your relatives, you can meet your friends, you can go out for a movie, go to a restaurant, but then you decided to actually spend this time. That shows that how sincere you are. How sincere you are, and how dedicated you are, and how you want to grasp what is written in Bhagavad Gita. So we'll start the session with prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatimirandhasya.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya.
Jnananjana Shalakaya.
Jnananjana Shalakaya.
Chakshurunmilitam Yena. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Namo Vishnupadhaya.
Namo Vishnupadhaya.
Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale.
Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale.
Srimate Bhaktivedanta.
Srimate Bhaktivedanta.
Swaminiti Namine.
Swaminiti Namine.
Namaste Saraswate Deve.
Namaste Saraswate Deve.
Gauravani Pracharine.
Gauravani Pracharine.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi.
Paschat Deshatarine.
Paschat Deshatarine.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara.
Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So again, we are going to cover one important concept today of Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita, this has been made so simple for us, each of us to understand. Right? It was made each of us, for us, it's very difficult for us to actually understand Sanskrit at this point of time, because to learn Sanskrit, ideally it takes, to become a scholarly Sanskrit scholar, it takes minimum 12 to 13 years. Right? So it's only because of the divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, that we are able to come into this congregation or community and listen to Bhagavad Gita. He has made it so simple for us to understand and apply this on a daily basis. So we dedicate this. And today's important topic is again it is karma, it is based on karma. So dealing with adverse situations. And we are only able to answer this is because of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So you see, every one of us is actually born very differently. Different families, different situations, right? That right? Every one of us born differently, right? Why is there so much diversity, right? I've taken some pictures I'll just share that with you. In this world, some are born rich, some are born poor, some are born strong, some are born weak, some are born beautiful, some not so beautiful. Some have a lot to eat, but some don't even get a job. Some get the best education, some don't have the basic needs. Because there are many pictures which is very painful to actually put it and show it, but then just for the session I have taken this. Some are very fair, some are very dark, some stay in a mansion, some stay in small huts, some are blind, some are born physically challenged, some are born intelligent. You can see, some of the child prodigies you see. They can solve math problems within age of 2 or 3. They start playing instruments at the age of 2 or 3. They start grasping languages too early. Right? You can see that. Some are born talented. Now, how is this diversity justified? What is the basis of this diversity? Is it just by chance? Is it just by chance? Someone is born poor, someone is born rich. Why does this happen? Okay. Is it by chance? Do you think it is by chance? Nothing happens by chance, right? So if all this happens if God is there and He's just telling, you'll be born here, you'll be born there, then God is not just, right? He's not all loving, right? But God is all loving. Then how is this? Okay? Why is there so much suffering? So we cover these topics today, right? So much diversity we see around us, right? Some people are suffering, some people are not suffering, some people are living happily, right? We are constantly trying to find answers, right? So let's dig deep. So this is one important question. We keep getting questions like this. Why do bad things happen to good people? एक वो कितना अच्छा आदमी था, उसके साथ ऐसा कैसा हुआ? भगवान है कि नहीं? Right? So many we face these questions so many times in our life. Right? हमारे लाइफ में भी, if we are so devoted in our life, and something happens to us, we also question, भगवान है कि नहीं? We doubt. Right? So today's session will actually help you get answers to these questions. Right? So this will give you more clarity. Because our life is so ambiguous, so much haziness is there, we don't have any kind of clarity as to why is this happening to us? Why is this happening to this particular person? So this session will help you answer those questions. So this session will help you answer the questions of your life. Right? Question more and get answers to those questions. So the topic is karma, the law of action and reaction. Okay? It's a very important topic. We've touched it superficially because karma is a deep topic, right? Karma is a very deep topic. It's a very intricate topic as per Sri Krishna himself. He told Arjuna that it's a very deep topic you won't understand, right? So there are many parameters when it comes to karma, and these parameters are very dynamic. So I think very coders will know if one parameter is dynamic, it's so difficult. So in this, every parameter is dynamic. So it's very difficult to understand karma. But we will get a basic understanding from Bhagavad Gita. Right? So everybody knows what is karma. This is one very famous quote. I think we keep finding it in Instagram or somewhere. People keep sharing it, right? Karma is no value. You get deserve what you deserve. So anybody knows what is karma? Just your basic understanding, what you know so far. You know what is karma? Anyone knows? Results of your action. Okay. Anything else?
Like an account, keeping your account of good karmas and good deeds and bad deeds.
Okay. Account of your good deeds and your bad deeds. Okay. So basic tenets of karma. So I think everybody would have read this, right? Every action, Newton's third law, everyone knows this, right? Every action has a equal and opposite reaction. In Bible also it says, what you sow is what you reap, right? So this is very common. We know that. Responsibility comes with developed intelligence. So we will actually dig deep into this topic, right? Human life is a junction. So these three are the things that we will cover today. That is, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Responsibility comes with developed intelligence. And human life is a junction. We will come to know why it is so important, why our life is so important, right? So different types of karma. There are different types of karma. We will dig deep. Let's take, see, anything that people say, right? If they quote something, you should always ask for praman. Proof. Where is it written? Right? Is it from scriptures? Which scripture? Right? If it's from scripture, you'll have a Sanskrit reference. So you always ask for that. We just don't take blindly anything. Right? We need to have reference. We need to have a praman. So let's hear it from Lord himself. Karmano hi api bodhavyam. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanah. Akarmanascha bodhavyam. Gahana karmano gati. Can someone read the translation, please?
The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is.
Thank you, ma'am. So again, here there are three things that Lord Krishna is talking about: action, forbidden action, and what inaction is. Right? So there are three things that we get to know from this karma. The first one is good karma. Everyone knows this, right? So Sanskrit is called karma or punya. Like anything that you do, you know, basically we are all Indians, we know what is good karma, what is punya. At least that knowledge we have from our parents, right? Our grandfathers, and so everyone knows any kind of feeding your poor people or giving money to educational institution or anything of that sort, right? These are all get you good karma or punya. Now the thing is, how does one know what is good and what is bad? So for me, something is good, that may not be very good for you. What is good for you may not be very good for you. So what is the benchmark? Does anybody know what is the benchmark? Like people will say, in my opinion, we discussed this last class also, right? I think so. Right? In my opinion. So that is not the basis. What is the basis? Does anyone know? What is the benchmark that we need to have? Scriptures are the benchmark. So the scriptures tell you what is right and what is wrong. Right? The scriptures will tell you what you are supposed to do with this human form of life. Right? It is not based on our intelligence that we just gain. We should gain intelligence from what we get from scriptures. The scriptures will actually give you that discriminating power. What is right, what is wrong. So it is the scriptures that is the basis. Right? So we know karma, which is punya. Right? The next one is good karma leads to enjoyment. Everyone knows that, right? Whatever good you do, you have to reap the benefits or you have to enjoy that. Right? Now, next one is bad karma. That is known as Sanskrita. It is vikarma or papa. Right? So what is anything that you do against the scriptures, the scriptural injunctions, that is called bad karma. Right? So it is very important to know what is bad and what is good, and the basis is the scriptures. Now how do we understand what is good? Any kind of murder or any kind of crime, you know, right? Hurting anyone else, any people. That is all comes under bad karma, and you will have to suffer for this. Right? So let us actually go deep and to understand what is bad karma from Lord Krishna himself. Right? Etat abhishruyanto nanutishthani me matam sarvachana vimudam vidinastan achetasa. Can someone read the translation, please?
But those
Those who out of envy disregard these things and do not follow them regularly are to be considered deprived of all knowledge, behold,
Right. So here from Lord Krishna himself we can hear, right? What is considered to be bad? So anything that people don't follow or completely do against what is mentioned in scriptures is considered to be papa. Right? So it is not me or someone else saying, it is the Lord himself who is saying. Right? So we know from scriptures what is right and what is wrong. Now some of the things that is mentioned in scriptures that is very bad or that will actually get you to commit sin or papa is intoxication, meat eating, illicit sex, and gambling. Right? So I think we all know this. Right? We have to suffer for all these karmic reactions. So if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, the 5th canto, the last chapter, you will come to know what all the different kinds of punishment. It is very scary to read those, right? If you read those, you will start shivering and will think as to what all we have done, right? And what all we need to do to rectify it. Right? We have to suffer for all the papa that we have done, and we have to enjoy for all the punyas that we have done. Now there is something called as, now we got to know what is karma. Karma is good punya, right? Punya. And there is vikarma, which is papa. And the next one is very important, which is called akarma. Akarma, activities without reaction. See now, if you see good karma also, if you do good karma, you have to enjoy this life or next life, right? The same goes with bad karma, which is vikarma. If you do any kind of bad karma, you have to suffer this life or next life, right? So what is akarma? Which does not incur any kind of reaction. So let's get to know what is akarma from the scripture of Bhagavad Gita itself. Ye me matam idam nityam anutishthani madavaha shraddhavanto nasuyanto uchyante karma vihi. Can someone read the translation please?
Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow this teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitless actions.
Right. Thanks so much, Madhavi. So it is very important. See, so akarma, it is not basically inaction, right? It is action based on the scriptures, which will not give you any kind of reaction. See, if you see good karma and the bad karma, for enjoying or suffering, you have to face the reaction either this life or next life. When it comes to akarma, when Krishna says that if you follow the injunctions given by me in Bhagavad Gita, there is no reaction. So inaction doesn't mean there is no action at all. There is action, but there is no reaction to that. So it is very important to understand three different concepts, that is karma, vikarma and akarma. So karma has got reaction. What about vikarma? Reaction. What about akarma? No reaction. Right? Okay. Fine. So we got this basic concept right. So how the akarma is just basically, it is just following the teachings that is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, following all the principles and implementing it. Now another question that we have is, do animals create new cycle of action and reaction? What do you think? Who says yes? Okay. Who says no? बीच वाले लोग एनिमल से पूछ के आएंगे. So actually, if you see animals, right, they are designed to do 4 things: ahara, nidra, maithuna, vaya. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. They are programmed to do this, right? If you go to any animal, if you take a dog for instance, you give him anything. For instance, I give him a cover. He'll first smell it, and he's smelling it to actually see if it's something edible, he can eat it, right? So they are programmed to do these 4 activities. Anything that they do will be revolved around these 4 activities: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Nothing else. So they are facing some karmas from previous life, but whatever actions they are doing, there is no reaction to it. Right? It's more or less like a program. Right? Now, why is human life called a junction? Any idea? We have to see?
You have to keep taking decisions.
We have to keep taking decisions.
You have to decide which way to go.
Which way to go? Okay. Anything else? Very good. Yes, that is one very good answer. Actually, the human life is a life where we can actually decide if we want to go lower or higher. The animals don't have that much evolved intelligence, right? The intelligence is actually based on these 4 activities which I told you. But human beings do those activities, but they are supposed to go beyond that. We are not supposed to be stuck there in those 4 activities that I mentioned. Ideally, what is happening right now is we are stuck in that activity only, right? So, in Shastras it says if we are stuck in those activities, we are equal to animals. Pashubhina samana. That's what this Shastras Mahabharata says, right? We are stuck in those 4 activities: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, and not actually questioning as to why we are here. What is the reason? Why am I suffering? Who is God? What is the relationship with God? If you are not getting answers to those introspecting and asking those questions, we are equal to animals. Pashubhina samana, right? So human body is a junction where we have intelligence and we can discriminate, we can make decisions, like Prabhuji said, right? We can make decisions to either go higher or either go lower, right? Okay? Now, let's just go through this particular shloka. Vashamsi yanani yatha vihaya navani grahani naroparani sato sharirani vihaya vedani anyani samyati navani dehi. Can you someone read this? Translation please.
As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones.
Right. Thank you so much. So we all learned in our last session how the soul actually transmigrates, right? How the soul actually leaves the body and acquires a new body, right? So in this Gita says, similarly, you remember that sloka, right? Which was that? Dehinosmi yada dehi kaumaram yauvanam jara tata dehantara prapte tiras tatranum moyati. So just like kaumaram yauvanam jara, the soul is passing through our body as we go into the old age. Similar way, the soul leaves the body and acquires a new body, right? So here Krishna is saying the same thing, right? So now on what basis do we get a body? Does anyone know? Basis of karma. Okay, that is a very good answer. Actually, that is right. On the basis of karma only, our next body we get, right? So if you actually look into Vishnu Purana, this is, see, I have put in a lot of shlokas or a lot of scriptural references because it is very important to understand where we are coming into these conclusions, right? You have to understand that I am not speaking what is there in my mind, right? It is as per the scriptures, what is mentioned in scriptures. So if we go into Vishnu Purana, we can understand what are the different kinds of species that is available. So let's actually read this. Jalajanava lakshani Tavara laksha vimshati Gramayo rudra sankyaya Pakshinam dasha lakshanam Trimshal lakshani pasavaha Chatur lakshani manusha. So let's actually dig deep into this. Jalaja Navalakshani. What does that mean? Navalakshani, what does that mean? 9 lakhs, it's mentioned here. Okay? Jalaja, aquatics. There are 9 lakh species of aquatics. Tavara Laksha Vimshati. What is Laksha Vimshati? Laksha Vimshati. 20 lakhs. Given here. Tavara. Tavara is plants which is actually situated in one place, the plants, the trees, the non-moving objects, right? The 20 lakh species. Then, Kramayo Rudra Sankhya. So how many Rudra Sankhya is how much? 11 lakhs. Kramayo, that is insects. Insects and reptiles. That is Kramayo, right? And then Pakshinam Dashalakshanam. Dashalakshanam? 10 lakhs, very easy, right? Pakshinam? Birds. So 10 lakhs species of birds. Trimshal Lakshani Pashabha. Trimshal Lakshani. 30 lakhs. Trimshal, 30 lakhs. Right? And Pashabha is all the quadrupeds. Right? That's 30 lakh species. Chatur Lakshani Manushaha. 4 lakhs. Chatur Laksha is 4 lakhs. Manusha. Do we have 4 lakh species of human beings? What do you say? What do you understand from this? 4 lakh species of human beings. Any idea what is this based on? Entire universe, okay. Across different planets, okay. So, this segregation or this is coming based on the different levels of consciousness. 4 lakh species they say. There are some who are not civilized, some are mediumly civilized, some are highly civilized, so there are people coming under these. So that's how they arrive at 4 lakh species of human beings. It's not based on body, hairstyle, or beard, right? It is based on the level of consciousness. Right? Now again, like you mentioned, we actually spoke about human life as a junction. Based on what we do, the karma, right? Whatever activities we do, we can actually get a body from these species, 84 lakh different species that is mentioned in Shastra. So whatever activities that we do, whatever spiritual credits that we have, be it punya, be it karma, based on that we get a body out of it. So you have to understand, out of this 4 lakh species of human beings, we are just in that elite category. Just 4 lakhs. Rest 80 lakhs is different. Animals and plants and reptiles and all those things. 4 lakhs. So you have to understand how important this human life is. Right? Why is it called the junction? Why we have called this evolved intelligence? Right? So it is called even a junction because you have to either go high or actually get stuck in the cycle of birth and death. Right? So it's very important. Let's look at this. This is another shloka. This is a very important shloka. Yam yam vapi saran bhavam jajate ante kalevaram tam tam eveti kaunteya sada tat bhava bhavita. Someone read the translation, please. So here Krishna says, whatever state of mind you have at the end of while you're quitting the body, that state he will attain without faith. That kind of body he will attain, or that kind of reaction he will get. Now if I ask you, your childhood, talk to me about your childhood, what really happened from your childhood till now, you will not be able to give me the exact details as to what really happened, unless it has made the heavy impression in your heart. Right? Certain things we remember, certain things we don't remember. Even if we recall, that's how it is. Right? So whatever the strong impressions that we have, that is the only thing that we remember. Now don't you feel there's a contradiction when I say, based on karma credits, I said previously, there's a sloka, karma credits you get a body. And now here Krishna again he says, at the end of the, while you're leaving, quitting the body, whatever state of mind that you are, whatever that you think, you will get a body based on that. Isn't there a contradiction? Don't you think there's a contradiction? Whatever based on whatever I said. Based on karma, you will get a body. That's what the previous shloka said. Now it says, whatever state of mind you are, while you are quitting the body, Based on that, you get a body.
हम जो कर्म करते हैं वो हमारा याद आते हैं।
Yeah, very good, very good. So whatever, see when you are actually dying, right, it is actually proven by the scientists also, the last moments of your life, right, your entire life flashes in front of you. It's like a fast slideshow. The simple slideshow that I'm showing you, it will be super fast. Right? Within few seconds you are actually seeing things that happened in your life. And that is based on the karma, whatever you have done your entire life. So there is no contradiction here. Whatever you have done in your life, based on that only you will get the thoughts, right? The memories, the slideshow that is playing at the end of your life. And whichever slideshow, you close your eyes, you stop, you leave your body, that is the state that you will attain. Now, I'll give you, I'll ask you one question here. See, based on karma credits, right? Based on karma credits, you are supposed to be a cockroach. Right? Based on karma credits, you are supposed to be a cockroach. Now, at the end of, while you're living, you're quitting your body and the slideshow is happening, you think of a mansion. Now, can you tell, you're all intelligent, can you tell what will that person attain? Based on karma, he's supposed to be a cockroach. But at the time of death, he's thinking about a mansion. And he quits his body. Cockroach in a mansion. You see that? Huh? So that's how it is. Yeah. So there is no contradiction here. The previous sloka talked about the karma that you do, based on punya and papa, karma credits that you have, you get a certain body. And the state of mind that you have while you're quitting the body, that is the state that you will attain. Right? So there is no contradiction here. Right? So let's go to the next. So some of the frequently asked questions are, do we get karmic reaction in same life? What do you think? Do we get karmic reaction in same life? Sometimes? Sometimes not? Very good. So there are some karmic reactions which are very instant. There are some karmic reactions which are very delayed. So for instance, let me just put it in a very humorous way. For instance, if you are traveling in a bus, right? And the bus driver actually puts sudden brake, and I fall over a Mataji, right? That's action. What is the sudden next reaction? One slap, right? That is instant karma, right? Slap. So it's just a humorous way I'm just putting it, right? And there are some reactions which are very delayed. So if you go to the next slide, see the karma seeds, this is how they, see if you know, there are various kinds of, based on the actions that you have, and the time it takes to 55. Just like a mustard seed, right? If you put mustard overnight, it comes out. We have done it in our school, right? They tell as an experiment when you're kids. But if you actually go put a mango seed, it takes generations to actually fructify. So that's one of the reasons that people have this, do we have this question, do we actually face the reactions in this particular life? It is based on karma, it is based on the seeds, the karma seed. Some fructify instantly and some fructify in a delayed manner, right? So that's the way we are supposed to understand this. Now, everyone knows about Dhritarashtra. I'll actually give you a nice story. Everyone knows Dhritarashtra, right? Who is Dhritarashtra? Father of Kauravas. How many sons he had? 100 sons he had. What happened to 100 sons?
Died.
All of them died. Right? So if you imagine a father, a parent going through such situations in life, it's very sad, right? 100 kids he lost in that battle. Right? He was so sad, he was so attached to those kids, Duryodhana and the other kids. He was so sad and he was crying. And he asked Lord Krishna, see, why did I have to go through this? Why did I have to watch all my 100 kids die in front of me? You know what Lord Krishna says? It is actually a reaction of your past life. And not the past life, like the previous life. He says, 50 lifetimes ago, you were a hunter, right? And you wanted to kill this male bird who was guarding the nest. Somehow you were not able to kill the male bird flew away, And in that frustration, in that anger, you destroy the entire nest. You have 100 eggs. And that's the reaction that you're getting now. So Dhritarashtra asked, 50 lifetimes ago and you're giving me punishment now. So the Lord says, like I said, karma is very intricate topic. And everything has a different parameter. Every parameter is very dynamic. So it's very difficult to understand karma. So here you can understand a little bit. Where Krishna says, see, you killed 50 lifetimes ago. But in order to get 100 kids, you have to have that many punyas. And it took 50 lifetimes for you to get that 100, to get credits for getting 100 kids. And when you got 100 kids, that was the time for that reaction, for that particular karma. So you understand how important it is. So whatever we are facing right now, difficulties or happiness, it is not that it is something that we have done this life, it could be not previous life also. It could be lifetimes. Right? When it is the right time to fructify, that's when we eat the results. Be it papa or be it enjoyment. Right? Hope it's clear? Right? Now is everything fixed in life? What do you think? Is everything fixed in life? Are we... Why do you say nothing is fixed in life? Certain things are fixed, right? Your birth is fixed. When you're born, happy birthday to you. That time, your death is also fixed. It's done. Luckily, we don't say happy death day to you, right? Very scary. So that is fixed. Even the amount of food that you will take in your lifetime is fixed. So suppose we are in a very bad mood, we fought with my wife or someone else, and there is so much food there. Do you feel like eating? Right? खाना नहीं होता सबसे, नहीं? तो इसलिए कहते हैं ना, every दाना has the person's name written. दाने दाने में है खाने वाले का नाम. So it is very important. So nothing is fixed in life. There are certain reactions that come to your life, right? You have been given an option. That's right. There is a junction that is provided to you, and from there you are being given an opportunity to make decisions. There is never a checkmate kind of life situation in your life, right? Whenever you have a situation, you have options. You have options to choose to go this way or that way, right? When the reaction comes, so it is not. See, it is very logical to understand. If everything was fixed, there is no afterlife because it's not us who is doing it, right? If everything is fixed, there is no afterlife. There is no reaction. There is no action. There is no reaction. Because it's fixed. Logically, there is no next one. Right? Hope I'm clear. Now, yes, we just spoke about this. So, what is not fixed? Does anybody know? Our progress in bhakti is not fixed. So, that is something that we have to do. That is an endeavor that we have to do. We have certain credits from our previous life, whatever we have done. This is not the first time you are listening to Bhagavad Gita. This is not the first time you are actually seeing an aarti of the Lord or singing kirtan or bhajans. You would have probably done it lifetime. Okay. But somewhere down the line, you actually left it. Somewhere down the line, you didn't take it very seriously. Right? So a lot of people have that. Sunday आते फिर उसके बाद the next 5 or 6 days we don't do anything. Again come back on Sunday. The spiritual life is supposed to be taken very seriously, right? It is the backbone for the way we live to face any kind of situations that we have. Otherwise, if you see, it is very easy to actually every deep down everyone is so sensitive. Though people act very strong, if you scratch them a little bit, right? You will get to know how sensitive they are. The spiritual life of Bhagavad Gita actually teaches you how to be stable through your spiritual sadhana, understanding the concepts of Bhagavad Gita. So when it comes to karma also, today you understood as to what and why are things happening in your life also. You will get a basic understanding as to why things are happening in your life. Right? So it will not you will be in a position to not blame someone else. Right? So it gives you that understanding, it gives you that wisdom. As to see certain things are happening, good things are happening in your life. We always blame God, no? ये मेरे साथ ही क्यों हुआ? We say no. Why do we say that? मेरे साथ ही क्यों हुआ? But something good happens. Do you say anything to her? नहीं ना? When something bad happens, only we blame it. If something good happens, we don't even think about it. How selfish we are, no? So nothing happens by chance. The people say, no, I'm so lucky. So I have bad luck. So we keep hearing this, na, luck. मेरे पास luck है, इसलिए ये हुआ. मेरे पास bad luck है, इसलिए ये सब हुआ. See, if I ask a foreigner, he would probably say this. Bad luck and luck. He probably doesn't know. He has never read the Bhagavad Gita to understand the concept. But as Indians, we should know what is bad luck and what is good luck. So based on what we just learned, can someone tell me what is good luck? What is it? Good karma. Reactions of good karma. What is bad luck? Yes, reactions of bad karma. So there is no nothing as good luck and bad luck. It is again reactions of what you have done previously in this life or your previous life. Okay? So another thing, this is very important thing. A lot of people, actually in our life also we keep seeing, no? There's someone who is very pious. So you can actually close that window. I think AC is not there. Thank you. Okay? No, let's start. So in our life we have this concept. We see a lot of people, right? Very pious people who go to the temple, who do a certain kind of devotional service. But so many bad things happen to them, right? And then that's when we start questioning. वो इतना अच्छा आदमी कर रहा है, इतना अच्छा आदमी भगवान के लिए इतना सब कर रहा है, फिर भी there are so many bad things happening in his life. So I've seen so many of my friends also. Their faith gets shaken when something bad really happens in their life. Right? So they were following a certain faith, they were praying to Lord, and something really bad happens. Something we probably lost a near one. So something really bad happens, and they completely lose faith or the faith gets shaken. Why does this happen? Why do bad things happen to good people? Now we get answers to that. Now, this is actually a silo. If you see in village areas, this is a silo where actually the farmers actually till the farm and they get the grains, right? And they actually fill it on. So the grain inlet is there. That's where they fill the grains that they have got from the farm, and they store it. And there is a grain outlet, right? So this is the silo that we have. So, for an instance, there was a farmer, and that particular year, he had done his farming, and there was very bad yield, right? Very bad, sub-quality yield. So that quality yield he actually puts it in the inlet, right? And that gets, this is a storage place. And the next year, he has a very good yield, very good quality seeds that he had farmed and he got, and that seeds he filled. So all this time, his son was watching it. The second time, we saw good quality grains are there. Then suddenly from the mother is calling from the kitchen, the grains are over, I need grains, right? And the son actually goes and gets the grain from the grain outlet. So what does he see? The bad quality grains are coming. But he had seen the good quality grains are going inside, right? So how is bad quality? So the thing we have to understand is, he only saw what happened this year. He didn't see what happened last year. So same happens with us also. So when we judge or try blaming God as to why this is happening to a particular person, we don't understand what really happened prior. See, we have, as human beings, we have only this vision of this particular life. Right? That is the experience that we have, nothing beyond this. Right? So it is Lord who knows your past and your future and your present. So this is just to tell you that previously he had a bad yield, and that's the reason he is getting the bad seed. So that's why we say, why do bad things happen to good people? Right? Now hope it's clear. Right? Now, can good karma nullify bad karma? This is a very important topic. Can good karma nullify bad karma? होता है क्या? हाँ? Yeah, I'll give an actually equation. Karma mathematics. 10 minus 4 is? 7 minus 4 is 3. I know that. Now the 7 is your punya. And minus 4 is your papa. So what will happen? What do you think based on karma mathematics? What should be the answer? Remaining 3 punyas Mataji says. Then? You will agree to that? No. So what is it? Correct. So this is something that a lot of misconception is there about karma. So people say, if we do so many 7 good karmas, there are 4 papas that I have done, it will nullify. It will be 3 punyas. It is not that. Karma, mathematics will remain 7 punyas will remain 7 punyas and 4 papas will remain 4 papas. Right? You have to enjoy for the 7 good things that you have done. And you have to suffer for the 4 bad. So there are so many people. दिन में सन्यासी रात में विलासी. So they think अयो आज इतना बुरा काम किया कल अच्छा काम कर लेता हूँ. That doesn't work. Right? So everything that you do has a reaction. We have to be very cautious and conscious as to what we are doing. Right? So there are so many people saying, before coming to Gita course, Prabhuji, I didn't know about this. There are so many bad things that I've done. Will I be excused? What do you think?
No.
Who says yes? Or who says no? See, I'll give you some. Right? If you are arrested, so if I don't see the speed board and I actually speed my car in a particular place, the cop will certainly catch me, right? Right? I can't say to the cop, I didn't actually see the board. I didn't know the rules here. That doesn't matter for him. He says, you are not supposed to speed here. You're not supposed to speed here. It doesn't matter whether you saw the board or not. And similarly, it's the same, na? Parking also. I don't many मानता parking. Park कर लेते हैं, लेकिन चलान तो कटेगा. Similarly, when it comes to principles of hygiene, there are a lot of street foods that we eat. कुछ आराम से खा लिया हमने, very unhygienic. पता नहीं था that it was unhygienic. लेकिन reaction तो होगा ही ना. And you will either be food poisoned or you will have some issues with your stomach. Similarly, when a child puts hand in the fire, the fire doesn't say, "Hey, child, it is no." Does the fire say that? It will burn. So, what you have to understand is, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. See, basically we have been given this. If I talk about a child also, right? Child, do you think a child actually gets reactions for his karma? What do you think? Yes? Okay. See, till a certain age, actually, the children also don't get karma. Because their intelligence needs to be mature or evolved. Right? So, as per Shastra, there is a certain age. After that only, they also start getting reactions. Right? That is very important to understand. So, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. We have to understand how the laws of karma actually work. I think we have given a lot of examples, right? Even I think last time I had given an example of me driving my car on the left side of the road in US. Right? I can't tell them about that. I didn't know the rules. He will certainly catch me. And I will certainly have to pay the fine or get arrested or whatever the rules of the government are. Okay? So ignorance of truth of life will lead to sinful activity, which will lead to suffering. Right? Now, human life is actually to understand the purpose of life. So we have been given this intelligence to actually understand the concepts from the Shastras. See, animals can't do that. Right? They are in a karmic cycle. They have been programmed in a certain way. Then we evolve and get a human body. This is called a junction because This is where we can actually make a decision if you want to go to the lower aspects of life, lower species of life, or higher species. Right? So this is a junction. So this is we just spoke about this human life being endowed with higher intelligence provides us an opportunity to become free from ignorance. So actually Bhagavad Gita gives you a lot of information in our life. See, there are so many concepts about, even before reading Bhagavad Gita, I didn't know about the concept of karma. Right? We know about karma. There are certain people who believe in karma, but they don't understand the implications. I believe in karma, they say. But these are certain people who don't believe in afterlife also, reincarnation. Right? So what happens is, they say everything happens in this life. Right? It doesn't work like that. Because from karma, when we understand karma in detail, we understand how the seeds of karma are fructified. Right? For instance, if I do a crime today and I die tomorrow, I have to face some kind of punishment for that crime, right? This death is because I was supposed to die that particular, but I have to face some kind of punishment for that crime. When will that happen? It happens when? Next life or whenever it is due, based on the seed that when it's called the karma blast. Right? See, like when you go, I think it's coming. So when you actually go to a shopping mall and you select certain kind of clothes for yourself. This is based on the life. I'm going to talk about the next life that you're going to get. So all the credits that you have, you're selecting all the clothes that you have. So what will decide that you can actually take that clothes? When you reach the counter, what will decide? You have selected your clothes and you come to the counter. What will decide that you can actually take that clothes? Those clothes. Payment, the money, how heavy your wallet is, that will decide. So that is called karma credits, or that is papa and punya. Whatever papa and punya that you have, based on that, you get the next point. Right? Can we modify our past karmic reactions? Do you think we can do that? Now we have come today. भगवत गीता प्रभु जी का, like I mentioned, इससे पहले तो जानते नहीं थे कर्मा के बारे में. मैंने बहुत सारे कांड किए. क्या होगा मेरा गति क्या होगा? Right? A lot of people have this question, right? I have this question. So what do you think? We call God very merciful, right? God is very merciful. Do you think there is, when we come to our right sense, when we feel what we have done is wrong, right or wrong, and we want to rectify it, modify it, do you think it will happen? Can we do it? Who says yes? Okay, who says no? Let's actually ask Bhagavad Gita. बुद्धि युक्तो जहातीहा उभे सुकृता दुष्कृते तस्माद् योगाय युजुस्वाहा योग कर्मसु कौशलम. Can someone read this? So here Krishna says, if you actually take up the process of devotion service, you can actually modify the karma. See, when I say modification, there are certain karmic reactions which will have a blast now, and doesn't mean that entirely it will burn. So for instance, I was supposed to be stabbed by a knife. With the devotion service that I am doing, I may just get pricked by a needle or something. So the karma reactions get reduced. The effect gets reduced. Right? It's not that we are completely out of it. But also, with the concept that we understand from Bhagavad Gita, it also gives you wisdom as to understand as to why we are facing this issue. We don't constantly keep blaming the other person. It's because of my wife, it's because of my relatives that I'm going through this issue. No, the blame game is not there when you understand the concept. Right? So that gives you stability in your life as to as to why things are happening in your life. If it's happening in a certain way. If it's happening in a certain way, you face those reactions. Right? You understand and tolerate it for some time. Right? Nothing is permanent, right? Is anything permanent? Right? Nothing is permanent in life. Right? Now, how to deal with, so this was the topic, how to deal with adverse situations. So this is what I was talking about. So let's ask yourself if you are doing this. The first thing is accept the fact that I have done it and I have to face it. That's the first rule of karma, right? Karma first rule is we have done certain action and that's why we are facing a certain reaction. Be it enjoyment or be it suffering. Right? Second one is smile. Sinful reaction reduces with every suffering. So we have to go through a certain karmic reaction for whatever papa that we have done. Right? We can't escape it. But with devotional service, we can actually cut down the intensity. Right? Like I mentioned, we are supposed to be apply on 9, we probably get a brick of needle. Right? So devotional service actually gives you a lot of mental strength also to face problems. Right? It gives you stability in your life. And the last one is keep advancing in spiritual life, clarity will emerge. So that's one of the reasons that we always talk why devotional service or spiritual life is so important in our life. Right? There are so many people with no clarity in their life as to why things are happening. Like I mentioned, they are just living a very animalistic life. Only 4 things they do: eating, sleeping, mating and defending. 4 things. Only these things, their whole life revolves around this. Nothing beyond this. Right? So when you have got human life, we spoke about being a human life as a junction, treat it as a junction, yes. That's where we are actually taking decisions. In your life, there will be situations. There is no checkmate situation. There will be situations where you can actually take decisions. If I need to go the left, if I need to go right. Right? And those decisions you can take, the right decisions you can take based on your understanding of scriptures. We spoke about karma, vikarma and akarma. Right? Karma, the good things that we need to do. It's mentioned in scriptures. Use it as a basis. Right? You don't go to a person and ask what is right and what is wrong, because that is very relative, right? If I ask you what is right, you will give a right, what is right for you is not right for me. If I ask a drunkard, he is enjoying. He will tell drinking is the best thing. Right? But to get a benchmark as to what is right and wrong, scriptures is the benchmark. Right? It says what is right and what is wrong. How to live a human life in the best possible way. That's why Bhagavad Gita is considered to be the best manual. It's just not by Indians, it's been taken up by so many people outside, globally also. See, one of the reasons it is taken globally, it is not a blind faith. Nobody believes anything blind. So we are all educated. Right? Everything we look for logical reasons. Right? It should give answers, logical answers should be there. Right? And that's one of the reasons why Bhagavad Gita is considered to be, we spoke about reincarnation, we spoke about out-of-body experiences. So many scientific reasons as to why we should believe Bhagavad Gita. Right? And why are so many people outside, so educated people, considering Bhagavad Gita as a manual? Because it is able to answer the problems of their life. Whatever issues they are facing, they are getting clarity as to why this is happening. Right? It is not because someone has forced. Nobody can force. I can't force you. You can't force me. Right? Force doesn't work. Everyone has to have an open mind to understand what is. And that is what is happening. So Bhagavad Gita, you will find so many things in your life that you can actually rectify or modify if you actually follow the concept of Bhagavad Gita. Okay? And just not Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita is just, they say, the preliminary study, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, which is at a later stage we will study, which has got even better concepts actually. So this is actually, Krishna has actually simplified it in a very nice way, till we find it very difficult. Right? There are people who have read Bhagavad Gita 3-4 times and still they don't understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Right? Which is very important. So 3 practices for quick spiritual advancement. Everyday mantra meditation. This is very important. See, we do this on a weekly basis for now. Every Sunday we are meeting. We are having a discussion on a certain topic. And we are doing mantra meditation. Now this is something that you will have to take as a homework, that you do this on a daily basis. Right? This is very important. See, me just telling you right now what is karma, you probably get inspired a little. Right? For a day or two you might follow it. and then the next day it fizzles out. So that recharge should be there, and that recharge is the mantra meditation that we do. There is no time to actually chant the Lord's name. Okay, that's why it's called the Mahamantra. Anyone can chant. You don't need to be initiated to chant this name. You can chant wherever you are. In your hall, in your bedroom, wherever you are, you can actually chant. Make sure that you make it as keep it as a habit. So what I would suggest is then regular study of Bhagavad Gita. Use Shloka Day app. I think I spoke to some of you and you have downloaded Shloka Day app. It's very important to use that app. See, for me to read Bhagavad Gita on my own is very difficult, and to understand is very difficult. Let's all agree to that. It's not very easy. We need to have a guru or a guide to understand. And Krishna actually says that in Bhagavad Gita himself, that you need to have a guide or a guru to understand. And we will speak about this in detail in the next session. Who is our guide? Why do we need a guide? Is it required? Why do we need a guru? Right? So we'll cover that. So this is very important. Regular study of Bhagavad Gita. So what I would suggest is every day, consciously we take out 20 to 30 minutes of your time just for mantra meditation. Mantra meditation, the 10 minutes that we do, meditate on the holy names of the Lord. Make sure your mind doesn't see that 10-15 minutes, just focus. That is an exclusive time between you and the Lord. You should not give time to anyone else. See, it is just like me, I am talking to Prabhuji here, and in between I will pick up my phone and see. Isn't that disrespecting? Similar way, when we are chanting Lord's name, in between I get a call, I pick it up. In between someone talks to me, I start talking. Isn't that disrespecting the Lord? So what we need to do is, we should have a certain discipline in our life. And discipline starts here. Make sure, one round of mantra meditation I will do on a daily basis. One verse I will read from Bhagavad Gita. See, it doesn't take time. See, when people say I don't have time, even when you're traveling, you can actually put that app in the Bluetooth and listen to it. So simple. You don't need to read also. Our senior devotee actually has put in his sweat and blood and actually made that. 700 shlokas. And that senior Prabhuji actually lost his voice also. For 4 or 5 months he could actually speak. So these are the things actually people are doing for us, for our benefit. And if we don't take advantage of this, whose loss is it? Our loss. Things are made so simple for us. We don't need to pick up a book while we are busy. The books is available, you have to buy a Bhagavad Gita book. But when you're so busy and you can't actually access the book, so many things are available for us. Right? So that is very important. So 15 to 20 to 25 minutes you actually give, dedicate your time for the Lord. That 10 to 15 minutes that you're chanting the Lord's name, dedicate your mind and soul into just hearing Lord's name, nothing else. Keep everything aside, all your problems aside. लोन के बारे में बाद में सोचना, घर के बारे में बाद में सोचना, रिलेटिव्स के बारे में 10 मिनट के बाद में सोचना. When you start prioritizing this, see how your life changes. This is very important. And I am not saying this because I am getting any kind of money from ISKCON. I am just like you. My name is Sabrish. I work for an IT company. I am into sales. And I do this for the past few years. And the reason I am able to tell this in a very, I am not sure if I am convincing you, but I am saying it with a lot of conviction because I know what it has got me for 2 years of chanting, 2 years of practicing spiritual sadhana. Right? There is no hidden intention for me because I don't get anything into it. It's the only benefit is that I want to ensure that you also reap the benefits of whatever I am reaping or whatever my fellow devotees are reaping. Right? So every time someone calls you, right, your volunteers are actually calling you. Make sure that you speak to them nicely because there is nothing that they get. They are just like you. They are also working in a very high position, drawing huge amount of salary, but they are ensuring that you also come and listen to Bhagavad Gita. Because they also saw benefits. Right? So, see, if we actually spoke to, there is a orphanage here, Taimane, right? There is an orphanage here, Taimane. And whenever we have extra prasad, we actually give to those kids there. The owner of that Taimane, Keshav Murthy, he says it's so sad to hear that everyone has different faith, they know their scriptures so well. Only Hindus actually don't know the scriptures. Is right, no? So we should actually draw inspiration, right? From other faiths that they are actually reading the scriptures. Back of their head, they know. At least now, after our Bhagavad Gita sessions, we will actually be able to tell, हाँ, मुझे भगवद गीता के बारे में पता है. And don't just depend on me giving you sessions every Sunday. It is our duty also to read the sloka on a daily basis. So that's when the realization starts coming. Right? That's when you will be able to be, try to get, you will have more questions also, deeper questions. So that is very important. So these are the three things that you follow. I will suggest everyone to follow. The mantra meditation. If you don't have beads, please buy the beads and please buy the bead back because the beads should not touch the ground. And I have told you how you can chant with the bead. Just 108 times one round. It will not take more than 8 to 10 minutes of your time. Right? Now what I'll do is I'll take the next 10 minutes. Just give me a moment. Yes. 10 minutes for any questions. Yes, ma'am.
We spoke about there is no excuse for ignorance. And say suppose I do something with a good intention, but the end result turns out to be bad. It could be that I give an advice to a friend in good faith, but it didn't work. So does it act as a bad karma for me?
Very good question. See, if your intentions are good, it doesn't matter. You won't achieve, you won't get the reaction. So your intentions are good. Again, he will have to face, he or she will have to face the reaction. Your intentions are good, yeah, there is no problem. Yeah, and you are providing certain response to certain advice to that person to make sure that the advice is proper. So it should not be something that is mentally concocted by you.
Yes. And it's not a manipulator. In true faith, we believe in something and we
Right.
feel like this is God.
Again, that advice that you're giving, if it's right or wrong, for you to judge should be based on Indian scripture. Right? So, and the advice is right, and your intention is right, then there is no issue.
Like another example in the same line is, say suppose like we see beggar kids in the street, right? If I pay them, we may be paying with the faith that okay, we will help them with one time food. But we don't know is it helping a beggar racket. I am giving it with the intention that it's going to be food for the person. So in such dilemmas, what do you do?
Very nice question. So when we all face this issue, right? When we are actually traveling, in the signals we have so many beggars. So from papers also we come to know that it's a big mafia actually who is working. See, we should be aware of what is happening. There are certain people who are genuine, certain people who are not, right? So with the discrimination power that we have, so what Shastras, what I've heard from my seniors is that it's better not to give them money because if they are hungry, the immediate need is hunger. It's better you carry some kind of fruits in your fruits or any kind of eatable, good eatable, and whenever you meet them, you can give it to them. If they are genuinely hungry, they will take it from you. Instead of giving money, which they probably use for some kind of drugs or smoking or whatever, which is ideally what happens right now, because I heard that it's a big mafia. We can't, again, we might be giving it a good intention, but they will just, let's not get to that, because we certainly don't want him also to be affected in one another. So the best way is actually, if we can give any kind of fruits or carry something from a home, and give that to them. That is the best way. Any other questions?
वो क्या होता है ना, अगर कोई हमारी फ्रेंड या कोई फैमिली या कोई हमारा बहुत क्लोज, कभी कभी क्या होता है हमारे साथ कुछ गलत बिहेवियर कर लेते हैं, और जो आप गलती नहीं किए हो वो भी आपको बोलते हैं कि आप गलती किए हो, तो आप वहाँ कुछ बोल नहीं पाते हैं, क्यों ना उनके साथ हमारा कुछ दूरियां बढ़ जाएगा, या हम कुछ बोल देंगे तो उन्हें गलत लग जाएगा, ये सोचकर हम चुप हो जाते हैं। वहाँ कैसे हैंडल करना है? हमें उनको दोबारा कुछ बोलना है, या पहले जैसे उनके साथ जैसे पहले थे रिलेशनशिप वैसे ही उनके साथ मिलना है,
या उन्हें इग्नोर करना है वहाँ?
Very good question. I think a lot of us face this.
तो क्या होता है ना, हम सोचते हैं कि हम कुछ बोल देंगे, जैसे कुछ हमारे हक के लिए बोलना, तो उन्हें गलत लगेगा, तो हम वहाँ कुछ नहीं बोलते हैं कि हमसे वो बड़े हैं, हमसे वो छोटे हैं, ये सोचकर हम चुप हो जाते हैं। चुप होना गलत है या कुछ बोलना गलत है, ये हम कभी कभी सोच भी नहीं पाते हैं, बट वो लोग बोलते हैं आप गलत हो, खराब बिहेवियर भी कर लेते हैं। कैसे हैंडल करना है?
So Mata ji, actually we have to deal it on a case by case basis. देखो हम लोग we can't control the other person. That we have to know. हमारे हाथ में क्या है कंट्रोल में? हमारा बिहेवियर. That is the only thing that is in our control. The next person's behavior, we can't expect them to behave in a certain way. We can't expect that because they are from a different walk of life, right? So the best way is hear them out. Hear them out. Don't ignore it. Hear them out because they are relatives. We have to have some kind of relationship. After understand, see, I tell, whatever concept you are learning from Bhagavad Gita, use it on yourself. Don't use it on others. Right? Use it on yourself. They say, if that particular person is, if your friend or relative is facing some kind of issues in his life, ये पुराने कर्मों का फल है, और हंसना. This is not right. We can't become stone-hearted. Right? So whatever you learn from Bhagavad Gita, use it on yourself. Whatever I am facing is because of my karma. And you don't become stone-hearted for the other person because you have to treat them. These are certain responsibilities given by Lord. You have to deal. They say, you have to deal with certain person because you probably had some kind of exchanges in your previous life. Mataji हुआ होगा. अनबन हुई होगी पिछले लाइफ में. So for now, listen to them. Listen to them. You put your point. Put it in a very nice way. Make sure that they also don't get hurt. If it goes beyond a certain level where you can't, so then try to distance it out. But make sure that you're not hurting with your words. See, this is one thing we can do from our end. That other people may hurt you, but we can be strong enough to not get hurt. That is how we can get strong enough by understanding why that person is coming into this conclusion. And also praying for them. That is another thing that you can do. So there are not many things that you can do because certainly there are other persons you can't control that.
ऐसा होता है कि जो हमारे साथ गलत करते हैं उनके साथ गलत होगा.
गलत तो होगा. गलत तो होगा.
तो हमारे साथ जो गलत हुआ है हम भी किसी के साथ गलत किए होते हैं.
हाँ गलत किए होंगे. इसलिए तो see everything, nothing happens by chance. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Everything is a reaction to certain things that you have done in the past. So that's why it gives you a better clarity to be a better human being. So we can't just, after listening to Bhagavad Gita, I can't go on fighting with people. Okay, it has to make you soft-hearted, not stone-hearted. Because everyone is a part of Krishna. Everyone is part of the Lord. So you have to treat them equally. If they are going through some issues, you help them. But back of your head, you know why it is happening. Or why it is happening to you. So this is more of toleration. Tolerate karma. If there are certain people, if they are not understanding, after you put forward your point also in a nice way, tolerate. That is the best way. Because you certainly, आपको भी एक conversation में जाके debate करके, उनको भी दिल दुखा के, आपको भी फिर से again you will have to go through the cycle of karma. The best way is to tolerate it. You put forward your point, and slowly it should not affect you also. So थोड़ा distance भी रखें. Because you care about yourself also. Because this is important. You have to take care of your kids and your husband and all. So वो भी that you should have in your own. So उस हिसाब से. I hope I have answered. Someone had a question.
Regarding the faith, so there are a lot of people get the problems in their life and their faith is getting the problem.
Sorry, I'm not able to hear.
So are they able to hear?
Yeah, but keep it little fast.
Yeah,
tell me.
so there are a lot of people get problems in their life and if they're faith then they get the problems in their life and they go to the problem and it's also their faith that they harm to their problem or they might suffer in their problem and they might die. So what is part of effort here? Because there are a lot of people who put a lot of effort to come out of the problem and they will not come out. So is there any point of effort here? How it matters?
Very nice question. A lot of people actually face problems, right? A lot of people face problems, and we try to actually get rid of them, right? And Prabhuji is asking, is there any, should we put any kind of effort, right? See, certainly we should put our effort from our end because intelligence is given for that, right? We also understand this certain thing is there because of a certain karma that we have done. So I have to face it. But again, to reduce it, if I have an ailment, for instance, I have to go to the doctor now. I can't pray to the Lord, and the Lord will also tell you, intelligence is the behavior. Right? Praying works. But along with that, you have to do your endeavors also. Right? You have to go to the doctor. You have to take the treatment. Huh? That's how it is. That's how it is. You have to do your efforts also. Next.
Whenever we are getting this karma part, there is a confusion which I have. As example, you given that Vrutarashtra, he asked the question of why I did saw that my 100 kids are dying. It's a reasoning behind that. But why he is doing that wrong? What is that karma? Karma, I understand that if I did some action in my past, now I'm getting a reaction for that.
Right.
And if it's bad, I think I got a bad. Like someone is getting killed, that person is doing something wrong. Okay. But who is killing that? What is the reaction for that? Why he is doing that? He or she is doing that.
See again, it is again a cycle. Like for instance, today I hurt you. Right? Today I hurt you and you hurt me back. Everything has got an action, reaction, and again that's why they say no. There is a time where you are actually given a junction where you have to decide if you want to hurt that person or you don't want to hurt that person. You understood? See why that person is doing, because you have done a certain thing in the past also.
But that is if it is happened to me because I did something wrong past.
Yes.
But who is doing that wrong? How that is justified in the reaction?
So again, that would be a reaction again from the past itself.
Doing a wrong thing?
Yes. He'll be not. See, he has an option again to not hurt you or hurt you. He also has a junction, right? So he can either not hurt you or hurt you. But he decided to hurt you. He has been given a junction. It's not that he has to hurt you, but he hurted you. So again, there is a junction that is provided to him also. So again, that is maybe giving rise to a new karmic cycle also, based on what he has done. He is supposed to come to that particular junction and decide whether he has to hurt you or not hurt you. But he chose to hurt you. So that was his absolute.
Okay. One more small. Now we can see that because of karma many things happen, like what we did and where we must reaction happen. But there is always a say in many places and many gurus are taught, without God's intention or choice, the leaves also will not move.
Correct.
So that concept and this is totally spiritual.
No, see, that is true when it says that without God's will, like a blade of grass also won't move. For one thing we have to understand, we have got something called as free will. God has given you something called as free will. So He has not made robots. Right? He has given you free will to choose, to discriminate. We have that power. He doesn't interfere there. Right? So He doesn't tell you to come and pray to me. That is for you to decide. If He wanted you to pray to Him, He would have made robots. Completely, He will dedicate His life to me. No, He is not. See, He has given us minute independence. That is called free will. For us to choose. So that's where this comes into picture. The free will part. Did I answer your question? See, again, we have to understand, this is a deeper concept where we have to understand that why we are here. There are so many things actually which comes into picture. So free will is one concept where, as a human being, it's not for animals, they don't have free will. It's for human beings only. That's why it's called the junction, right? Where we have to make the right choices or we can make the right choices or the wrong choices. It is true that based on what God says, and even a blade of grass won't move without it. But when it comes to human beings, the kind of decisions that we take, it is completely based on our free will. There God doesn't interfere at all. ये तो नहीं तो सब भगवान के यहाँ नाम पे करते हैं इट इज ऑल मैं जो कर रहा हूँ भगवान ही करवा रहे हैं, ऐसा तो नहीं है ना. See, he has put a law in motion. Now what you do within that law is completely your problem. He has put a law in motion. Everyone comes under that. Based on that, he has given you intelligence also. He has given you free will also. So उस हिसाब से how you work in that particular law is completely our duty. Their law doesn't come and interfere. So that's why people blame God. So many people blame God. No, why is he doing this to us? He is not doing this to us. That's why the blaming picture comes in the picture. So when something bad happens, we start blaming him. क्योंकि भगवान ने करवा दिया. नहीं, भगवान ने नहीं करवा दिया. भगवान has given you the intelligence and free will. Now how we use it, based on that, the things happen. The following things happen. तो उस हिसाब से चलना पड़ेगा. Someone else has a question?
I have a Prabhuji, where does the concept of dharma, right? Dharma of a particular, it could be a profession or life. Where does that coincide with karma, right? Like it might be, if I'm a butcher, it is my dharma to do whatever I'm doing, right? Which is maybe simply in that concept. Like where does, in general, same with today's offices, I need to lay off somebody, right? Obviously, I'm not doing the one's best thing, or I need to do something else in my dharma. But where does the concept of dharma and karma coincide?
See, again, I think most of us, the understanding of dharma is not right. We don't know what is dharma. See, dharma as per Bhagavad Gita, if you understand, is to find the purpose of life. Right? We have a certain dharma which is innate within us. Right? It is there, this concept is there within us to find the purpose of life. Right? So when you are actually facing the issue, see, there is, like I mentioned, there are two kinds of dharma, which is Swadharma and Sanatana Dharma. Right? Swadharma is something that we are supposed to do within this. I've got this human body, I have certain activities to do towards the society, be it my family, be it my working place. So everything that comes under Swadharma. There is something called Sanatana Dharma, which is eternal, which is finding out the purpose of life. What is my relationship with God? Why am I here? So all that comes under Sanatana Dharma. So the way you deal with Swadharma, like you said, particular dharma, again you have to find out what is the prescribed duty. You can't just say that I am following a certain, like mentioned that butcher thing. I'm just thinking of that example. That if someone was following from family wise, I don't need to follow that. Because we have to, like I said, scripture is the basis to understand what is right and what is wrong. So based on that, we need to do our prescribed duties also. For instance, you are facing now some issues of layoffs. I know it is a very difficult task, right? When we are actually given a certain budget and we can have only certain headcounts. It is not easy because you are certainly close to that particular person and completely at a point of time you have to take this hard decision of letting him go. It is a very hard decision, but it is something that you will have to take. The only thing that you can do is probably help him in other ways. Like in my organization, my friend had a loss to come. I couldn't do much. Because again, it is based on the company. Because I'm just a small man in a big company. There is only little that I can do. And what other ways you can help me? See, again, the intention is what matters. Intention matters. Actions also matter. But if there is a time where your actions are, you're not able to do much of action, the intention matters. Again, you can help that particular person by referring it to someone else. That is the best thing that you can. So again, dharma is a deeper concept. So a lot of people don't know what it is. They think it is faith. Dharma is not faith. Faith can change every now and then. Today I'm following a certain faith, Hindu faith. Tomorrow I follow certain things from Muslim faith, certain things from Christianity. So that is not, dharma is not that. Faith keeps changing. Dharma is something that is very innate. That is within our soul. That is our deeper connection with the Lord. Right? So we can get into that topics as the session moves forward. We'll get a better understanding to those topics. Anyone else has? Okay, we'll take the last one. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll take your question.
So, does someone else's karma who's close to us can modify our karma? Like, if I'm not wrong, Savitri brings back her husband from death. Right. So can someone else karma who close to us can modify our karma?
What I've read so far, everyone is on their own individual journey, right? Everyone is on their own individual journey. But there are times when people are also got, people are accumulated to face a similar reaction. Like for instance, when a disabled child is born, right? It's very sad to see this. When a disabled child is born, the child is suffering. Is it only the child who is suffering? Who else is suffering? So we have to understand, like I said, karma is a very intricate topic. It is very difficult for us to decode. Krishna himself says that to Arjuna. Arjuna being a prince who knew all the things of scriptures, he himself couldn't understand. It is very difficult for us to understand. So just a concept wise I'll tell you. So there are times that this may work and this may not work. So what I've read so far, everyone has their own individual journey. But if there is a time when both the karmic reactions has to come together, then everyone is accumulated. Just like if you see, in earthquakes or in a bus accident, so many people die. So many people die. Probably there is, because that particular time, those people were supposed to come to that end. Those number of people were, and if you see in the Nepal earthquake, there were so many people who died. Nepal earthquake, which happened years ago. And there were small kids, newborn kids also. They were alive for 4 or 5 days also. So here we have to understand, some people are accumulated or gathered together to face a karmic reaction also. And some people it's not their time yet. They have to still live. So that's why we see certain kids who under that such huge rubble, huge debris, they're still found, they're still breathing. Right? So again, to answer your question, it depends probably. I may have to inquire with my senior devotee to check. But as far as I know, everyone has their own journey when it comes to karmic reactions. We'll take the last question from Aditi. After this, if you have any questions, feel free to come. I'm here only. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, so as per your teaching, this transfer God is making because he had done something to his son. So what does son's karma, like parents' fate is dependent on child's fate or child's fate is dependent on parents' fate? And similarly, I have one more question of curse. Someone curses you for something. Like we know Krishna got a curse from
Gandhari.
So, like that was one of his fate was decided. But then there was one curse also which came into picture. So whether that
Whose fate was decided?
like Krishna had to die, right? Like the way that Dwarka went underwater and everything.
Okay.
So that curse was given to us. So that curse also, that fate is also under us. Like if someone curses us. Now see, set an example of HR, firing someone. So we curse them, right? Like we have been gets affected or there are
Okay. It's a good question. So Dhritarashtra, why the sons came to that end? See again, like I mentioned, I just give an example of how the karma actually fructifies. A lifetime. So karma, that certain kids would have a certain past karma also. I don't know about that. Krishna never spoke about that, so I won't have knowledge. So he just gave this as an example, just to tell you how karma fructifies and why it took so many lifetimes. It's just not, we spoke about instant and delayed karma, right? Some are instant, some are delayed. So that's how we answer. And you talking about Krishna having that curse. See, one thing we have to understand, we should not get Lord to our level. So Lord is above the karma concept. So it, correct. So Krishna getting cursed was his leader, right? Krishna decides when he comes to appear and when he wants to go off to the spiritual world. So it is not that curse is because like Krishna. The curse also was planned. If you actually read Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a deep, you get a better understanding as to, because Krishna also says that my Janma karma chame divyam is my Janma and my karma is divine. It's not like ordinary people. Even everyone has learned about Krishna's birth, right? Krishna's birth, how did he come? He came in four-handed form. Chakra, Gada, Chakra, everything. So imagine that, does a normal child come in order with a mukut, dressed so nicely? And that mother's stomach will tear, no? With, we have the Sudarshan Chakra always. So that's what Krishna says. See, when you're reading Bhagavad Gita, we should actually read it very scrutinizingly. Right? We should read it. Like I said, there are two karma shlokas that I gave you. Then I asked you whether I am contradicting myself. No? It doesn't contradict. So that is when we get deeper understanding. So when it comes to curse also, Mataji, so again it depends on the previous life. I am not sure there what really happened. If there was an exchange between Mataji and that particular person in the previous life. Right? But what Mataji can do so that she doesn't get any kind of reaction is the way I told. That good intention and she's trying to help out. Because probably it is coming back to her. That person could have probably done something back to her also. You never know. And she is getting that particular situation right now. So the best way to deal with this, because after you read Bhagavad Gita, you know how to deal with things. Right? Your mind gets a little more pure. Right? So your intentions are right. So you try and help them in a very positive way. I hope I have answered your question. And thank you so much. So what we will do is right now, like always, we will go through the mantra meditation. I always enjoy mantra meditation with you all. It is very nice. The next 10 minutes we totally dedicate it to our Lord. And for the next 10 minutes we can keep our phone on silent. Let's forget everything. So only remember the Lord. Everybody knows how to chant on the beats, right? The third session, I think everyone knows that. Let's all close our eyes. Next 10 minutes. Let's just focus on the mantra and nothing else. Next 10 minutes of our life, this Sunday, we are only going to focus on the Lord's name and nothing else. This is our private time with our Lord. We should not allow any kind of thought to come into us. Let's park those thoughts for the next 10 minutes. Anything that you have, anything that your mind is telling you need to focus on, let's park those. And while we are chanting the mantra, just focus on the mantra, nothing else. Let's start, you can follow me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Let's start. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare